Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Medicom Toy Mafex number 222. We have Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I am very excited for this one. Mafex has been absolutely killing it. Loving what they're doing. My favorite Batman, live action Batman, Ben Affleck, gets a new Mafex figure. I'm all for it. So I'm very, very, very excited for this one. I've already seen some people get it. They've taken some awesome pictures and everything like that. So just really excited for this figure. I absolutely loved the Superman figure from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Mafex killed it with this one here. So of course Batman is going to be awesome. But the question is, do I get Cyborg? Do I get Aquaman? I feel like I may have to, but we'll see. But anyway, shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for getting this shipped out to me right away. Very, 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 very excited. It's in stock right now at Big Bad Toy Store, so make sure to hit the description below for the link if you're interested in picking this one up. And I can tell you right now, I'm probably going to recommend it because, again, if it's anything like this Superman, it's going to be absolutely awesome. So it's one that you're going to want to pick up. So very exciting. We get the whole black and white grayscale look for the packaging here. We don't even get the red Mafex logo, the Medicom Toy logo. None of it is in color, so it's pretty cool that they did that. The figure is not like black and white, but you know, they went for the aesthetic on the packaging. And I don't know if I really focused on that like on the Superman box, because the Superman box was all black and white too. But anyway, looking at the box, we get a couple of looks at the figure, like on the side and whatnot, and then on the back is where we get the color. We get all the, you know, the different head sculpts and everything. We even get a Ben Affleck head, which is cool, and then a few different accessories. It looks like we have the grappling gun. So that is awesome. There was always this thing like DC wasn't going to allow certain types of guns, even like the grappling gun, for whatever reason. But we got it with this one, so that's really cool. And I believe they lifted that ban because McFarlane Toys is coming out with guns in their weapons and guns in the packaging and whatnot. But anyway, very exciting. Again, link in the video description below to Big Bad Toy Store if you're looking to pick this up. But let's go ahead and get Ben Affleck, Batman, Batfleck out of the box and let's take a closer look. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're a fan of my action figure reviews or if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button now. I set the goal for 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year and we're just shy of 1,000 to go. I know we can make it, but again, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Okay, I just have to record this because I absolutely love this figure. Guy, like it's crazy how good sometimes some figures could be because it becomes a mixture of things, right? So the figure itself is really good. But then at the same time, the bias kicks in of it's my favorite live action Batman. I know a lot of people don't like the Snyder movies, and that's fine. Cool, whatever. I didn't love everything about the Snyder movies. Batman vs. Superman, I wasn't a fan. Extended cut, I liked it more, but still not a great movie. The Martha thing is terrible. Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour cut, it has its problems, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Man of Steel, I straight up, I'm a big fan of Man of Steel. I really like that movie. But Ben Affleck, something about his portrayal, because I think he played a really good Bruce Wayne. I think he did a great Batman. I wish we would have had a full Batman movie of Ben Affleck. But I have an action figure of him. A highly articulated action figure of him. I've got a McFarlane Toys one. It's cool, right? It's a good figure. It's not a great figure. It's a good figure. This Mafex Batman is a great figure. I mean, just look at it. It photographs really well. And again, and this is coming from somebody that is not a great photographer in terms of like building a scene, creating the scene, having the creativity to do that, and then posing the figure in a realistic looking thing. But something simple like this. Look how beautiful this looks. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Really, really good. So, just had to start off, lean in with that, and tell you guys it's an amazing figure. If you like Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman and you like Mafex figures, or you just really like Batman, this is one to pick up. Don't sleep on this one. I think this one is going to be one to really get. You know, a lot of comic book figures sell out quickly and whatnot. A lot of the movie ones maybe tend to not. But this is such a good figure that I think everybody needs to get it. It's so good. Let's zoom out now. Let's take a look at the accessories and then we'll get into the figure. But man, I am telling you, I am loving this figure. Okay, here we have it zoomed out. We can now see the figure in all of its glory. I just had a lot of fun kind of putting that one image together, that scene that, you know, just before this that you had seen. I had a lot of fun putting that together, you know, adjusting lighting here and there. Plastic Addict George, he was giving me having me go back and forth, like put more light in the front. But just a whole lot of fun, man. Just really good figure. Looking at the accessories, it's stacked with pretty good accessories. We get a Ben Affleck head sculpt here, and I would say this is a pretty good likeness to Ben Affleck. I would go as far as to say really good for Mafex. In my experience, they have not had the best likenesses to actors. So here, to me, this looks like Ben Affleck. It really does. It's not perfect, but it looks really good. A little bit of gray on the sides. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow in there. He's got the separate neck piece because the cowl will be off, so his neck would be exposed. That looks pretty good. As you can see, like with Henry Cavill, yeah, I could see some Cavill likeness in there, sure, but it's not as good as this Ben Affleck head sculpt, in my opinion. We also get 2 other head sculpts. We actually get a Screaming Batman head sculpt. The one out of the package is kind of the standard stoic look, but there's the Screaming head there, and then we also get an angry head here, so kind of gritting his teeth there. And that looks really good. The eyes are painted well on each one of them. The stoic head, if anything, his left eye looks like it's a little bit painted a little bit high. That would be kind of my biggest criticism. The other thing would be, I feel like his legs get a little thin down towards his ankles, and I guess that should be the case, right? Because your ankles would get a little bit smaller, but I feel like it's almost too small. Or maybe it's the feet that are too small. Something about it just a little bit off. But other than that, really, really love the figure. We get 3 extra sets of hands. So out of the package, he's got fists. He's also got grip hands here. Then he has like the... one came off the little peg thing. He's got these open, relaxed hands or kind of gesturing hands there. I just not want to stay on the peg. What's going on? So we got those hands there, and these look pretty good. You can see a little gold trim, like on the knuckles, where you could see, you know, like he's going to be punching guys. He's got to make, you know, do some damage, and then protect his hands, so you get the gold there. And then we also get, whoops, this one came off. These look like fists, but these are the Batarang throwing hands, so you can see a little bit of space in between his index finger and his thumb, and what that does is it fits the Batarangs perfectly in there, so you just kind of fit the Batarang right into the hand. So we can hold it there. And speaking of the Batarangs, we get 3 of these Batarangs. And these things are awesome. They're really small, though, so be careful not to lose them. Nice gunmetal color. They're a little pokey. They're very, very thin. But, man, they look great. And we get 3 of them. So, you know, you can have them laying around. You can have him throwing them, or however you kind of want to do that. But, bam, you get 3 Batarangs, and they look really good. And then we also get the grappling gun. So that looks really good there. Nice silver in there, brown for the handle there, a little bit of black in there. And then the grappling hook portion actually does come out, so you can plug it in there. It's a really small piece. I wasn't sure if it came out because, you know, out of the package, it's in the package like this. This is such a small piece. Like, you really want to be careful with it, but it just pegs in there like so. I recommend probably just leaving it in there. Although, you know, if he's getting ready for the shot, you would leave it in there. If he's already shot it, then you would take it out. So it works. It does work both ways. So we have it there. So those are the accessories for Batman. The other thing would be this awesome cape. It is soft goods. It's got a pleather-like material, which I really like. Superman had kind of like this polyester, like vinyl. I don't know, not vinyl, like polyester satin. Probably more like a satin, almost silk-like. But here it's like full-on pleather, so it has a very leather look to it, which is cool. And as you can see, it's a very long cape, and then the ends kind of have this tattered look to it down there at the bottom all the way across, so that is really cool. The inside is just kind of the standard nylon cloth, I guess it would be, polyester. I don't know my different, you know, cloth materials. But there, we do get the bendy wire along the side, so you can flare it out. You can do all kinds of cool things to kind of pose it out. I know Mezco figures also sometimes they would come with wire clips, so you can like hang it down or whatever. We don't get that on here, but again, this bendy wire is pretty good. It can hold in certain kind of ways, so that's really nice. So there we go. But now let's go ahead and take a closer look at the details of the suit and everything like that. We'll take a closer look at each of the heads. Okay, so take a quick look at the stoic face, as you can see there. And again, the left eye to me just looks like it's a little bit painted a little too high in there, but otherwise it does look pretty good. Swapping out the heads are very easy, as you can see there. They come off very easily. They just kind of fit in there. They don't really snap in, but they're not going to fall off or anything like that. But looking at the head sculpt, here's the angry face, and that looks pretty good there. Let's go ahead and swap that off. Let's go ahead and go with the screaming head or yelling head. And we've got that there, and that looks pretty good as well. I haven't figured out, like, I can't grab a head and the neck at the same time. But the cool thing about the neck is it's fairly flat on the side, so you can get a decent grip on there to be able to pull this neck out to swap out the Bruce Wayne head sculpt. So that's good. So you just got to really grip it in there to pull that out, because this one has the neck already on there. Because again, if he takes his cowl off, his neck would be exposed. And there you have it. Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne. And again, I think it's a pretty good likeness. Not perfect, but I do like the way it looks there. So there we go. So let's go ahead and swap that back out. Let's put the neck back in there. Let's get our Batman head on there, and let's look at the suit. So the texture on the suit is great. So as you can see, all throughout the entirety of the gray, we had that nice texture on the suit. Looking at like the gauntlet pieces, you kind of have like this brass color. You can see kind of a wash that they did in there. That looks pretty good. It matches, you know, the knuckles there. It also matches his utility belt. As you can see, some gold brass coloring in the utility belt, which is really nice there. And then the boots are just kind of a shinier black, as you can see there. But yeah, really nice. The Batman logo on there just kind of has like some scuffs and scrapes and scratches, which was true to the film, which is nice. And then of course nothing going on in the back of the figure, but yeah, really nice. Really love the way it came out. I really like this figure, guys. It is so good. So good. Okay, so let's look at Batman's articulation. He can look up that much there, and I think that is a pretty good amount. He can look down that much there, which is really good, of course. You get a full rotation in there, and then you, oops, pop that back on there, and then you can get some good pivot going on with that neck, which is awesome. You can get the arm to go straight on out like so. You can do a full rotation, although it's probably more work than, you know, is really necessary, because you got the cape in there and stuff. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you can. It's just, again, more work than I think is necessary. You got a little bit of a butterfly joint in there, which does allow for some circular motion in that shoulder. Crossbody wise, it doesn't. He's kind of a thick boy there. He's kind of beefy, so you can't really get any crossbody. And then to kind of get the arm to go back, you can get it to go back a little bit, as you can see there. You have upper bicep swivel in there, double jointed elbow like so, wrist swivels, and you have a ball joint, so you can hinge. You just twist that ball joint to hinge the other way as you need. We have the diaphragm cut and a ball joint at the waist. So the diaphragm can't get a whole lot of tilt on its own, if I'm being honest. But with the ball joint waist, you can actually get him to tilt to his left super far, tilt to the right super far on that ball joint waist there. Going back, you can go back very far there. And then coming forward, you can go, whoops, I was trying to force it probably a little too much. Coming forward, you can go that far forward. So not a huge amount, but I think it's enough. Keep in mind that belt is a floating piece, so it just kind of floats there, and that you may see a little bit of gap, so just make sure to keep that belt low. You could swivel at the waist there, and then you got swivel at the diaphragm cut. And I'm noticing now, and I've seen some people talk about like sanding down something, and I don't know if this is it. Like, it's a tight fit on that upper torso, and I think I'm scratching at the figure. So that must be what people are talking about. So that's really unfortunate. That's pretty sad, but maybe if you don't move the torso around, it's not an issue, but that's definitely a problem. Not a fan of that, so I think that's what people were doing. So this pops apart very, very easily. So I guess if you sand down here a little bit on the inside, just file it away, it'll allow a little bit more wiggle room, so this ends up not happening. So that's what people were doing. I saw some people doing that, and I wasn't sure why, but now I get it. So that's a little unfortunate. The legs have drop down hips, so you can see you could drop them down pretty far there. Legs go out that far apart, which is really good. You can kick forward really, really high, as you can see there. Leg goes back tiny bit, not a huge amount. You do get a little bit of a swivel in that thigh, as you can see there. Double jointed knee gives you that much bend there at the knee. There is no boot swivel, but you do get an ankle swivel. Foot hinges down all the way. You get some hinge up, not a huge amount. You do have ankle pivot in there. There's no peg holes at the bottom of the feet, but you do get toe articulation in there. So that is Batman's articulation. Again, be very careful when moving around on that torso, because it does scratch. Yeah, ooh, I'm kind of eating it away at it a little bit there. So that is unfortunate, and that's pretty noticeable there. So file it down, or kind of lean it forward, I guess, a little bit, and that kind of fixes it. But yeah, that's a little unfortunate. That's too bad. But otherwise, still a great figure. Okay, so here we have Batman and Superman here side by side, both Mafex, both the Zack Snyder's version of Justice League, and they look pretty good together. If anything, I'm a little bit surprised at how much bigger Batman seems to be in terms of like width, and just naturally ends up being a little bit taller. I feel like maybe the Superman is a little bit undersized, or maybe the Batman is a little oversized. I'm not sure kind of which one would be which. But I'm definitely liking the Batman figure more than the Superman figure. And I really like the Superman figure. But this Batman figure, I absolutely love. It is so good. Okay, to finish out the review, absolutely love this figure. It is available right now at Big Bad Toy Store if you're looking to pick it up. I highly recommend it. This has got to be the best Ben Affleck Batman figure there is, aside from like a Hot Toys figure or something, of course. The Mezco was really good too, but that's in a 3-pack with Superman and Flash. If you don't mind the price, that is a really good one also. But if you want just Batman by himself, look, this is the best bet right here. So it's really good. The grappling gun, as you can see, fits nicely in his hands with the grip hands. So we have that there. So I highly recommend it. But you guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of this figure? Is it one that you'd like to pick up? Do you already have it? Do you have some of the other versions that came out years ago? I know one hit Ross for like $10, $20, something really cheap. But these are upgraded versions. Mafex has come a long way, and then specifically these are the Zack Snyder's Justice League version. So a lot of upgrades. I don't have that previous one to be able to do side by side for you guys, but just know this is an awesome figure, but it may have to do some filing around under the torso to avoid that. But give me your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.